Alright guys, Team 3 Star, I'm back with another One Piece Banner Rush video. And in today's video, it's not going to be exactly what I usually do, the usual shtick. Like the memeing on the units or like a showcase on a random unit. But today I'm going to be addressing a topic that a lot of people have been talking about. And I've seen so many people talk about it, so I kind of want to get my own opinion on the issue. And if you haven't read the title, I'm just going to be talking about the Roger situation that's been going on in this game. And just like my thoughts about him, what he's doing to the game, and basically the state of the game right now, what Roger has done, and even just like EXs in general. But with that being said, let's just hop into a little discussion that I'm going to be going with. And I will be having a little bit of Marco Kinemon gameplay in the background, just because I've been trying to rank up a little bit with him. And I will be doing Kinemon gameplay, like official Kinemon gameplay, when after I believe Eevee, or after Soga King actually. But talking about Roger, like overall, everybody knows this kit is stupid broken. He is by far the best unit in the game. He trumps every single character. For me, I don't care what anybody says. It's like, people say, you got your type advantage with like Red Lucci, or you got Zoro's, but it's not even a type. Type is nothing in this game anymore. That's my really big thing, because since I run a lot of mono teams, say I'm gonna be using mono red like right now. I can't. We actually got somebody on Discord, so let me just screenshot that. Just like type isn't an issue because you have the Grand Line tag. I believe it's Grand Line, if I'm not mistaken. You can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe it's a time that tag. When you use that tag, you do more damage to your type disadvantage. So if you run that on Roger, the reds aren't even gonna be an issue. Like you're gonna have your Blackbeards, yes, still, it's gonna be all these meta monkeys. But it's not even gonna be like an issue, just because you have all these good ass characters that just don't even care about type advantage, and it's a little bit irritating, to be completely honest. Like Roger hasn't really affected me too much, because a lot of people know in the Discords I always screen share my game sometimes, and when I do, I have pretty tame matches. It's like your usual maybe Blackbeard, Big Mom, and then you have like other units that are not really meta. Like sometimes I get time skip units, or I get I don't know, say Choppermon. There you go, Choppermon's a good example on the other team. Like I get like these kind of tame units. It's not exactly like super terrible when it comes to that type of stuff. But it's like I've seen a lot of issues that people have, and I get it. I honestly do. It's just the big gap between having good ass units and having just like moderate units is a really big thing also. So like kind of talking about that a little bit, like the the gap between being a pay-to-play player and a free-to-play, because if you don't know, I'm a free-to-play player in this game. So granted, my teams are okay, and it's not exactly anything to be like sad about. Like they're pretty good, but it's not gonna be like top tier when it comes to ranking up, or I'm not gonna be ranking up to top 1. Obviously, I physically can't because of all these like really good characters. People have their characters maxed out, while I'm running like these 80 characters or 100 2 stars and stuff like that, like the dumb stuff that I usually do. But it's not that I hate to do it. It's really fun, just to see the reaction of my teammates, and then just like just playing with the unit. Then nobody will play otherwise, or even just free to play units in general. So like Garp, for example. Garp is actually one of my favorite units in the game, and he's super fun to use. I don't know. He has a lot of stuff going on for him. He's probably fell off from being the best 3-star. It's probably gonna be Choppermon. People can argue otherwise, but there's that. And but going back to the Roger situation, I've seen a lot of people talk about like how they hate Roger because he does this and that. He does hella damage. His charge skill charges for way too much, which I can agree with. It's too damn long, for my taste. But it's just he does everything and that and more, especially when all you see is Roger Odin in top ranks. So even if you're trying to rank up, it doesn't even matter, because if you're not using them, one of the guys from Discord, Drip, I'll be sure to link his channel in the description. But Drip, he put it very cleanly. He basically said, if you're not running these units, you're gonna die. It's like it's not a challenge. Yes, there are like the counters to those type of characters. Like there's Green Mihawk, Green Katakuri. And talking about counters, actually, I might make a video on that depending on how this goes. But yeah, it just there's a lot of good counter characters. Like it's not gonna be bad, but like even looking at this team right now that I'm using with, there's somebody from Black Hearts. not to call them out or anything, but you know, they're using Odin. You have this last guy using Odin as well. You got Blackbeard Big Mom. Not too much of an issue now anymore, but you know it's still an EX. And then you have the usual Blackbeard Shanks as well. Roger has a picture, so they have it as well. Just looking at all these characters, all these people, they have these characters, and they'll probably start using them to rank up. But I don't know. Sometimes you get like those hidden gems, like this guy using Corazon and Anel. But I mean, looking at his picture, he has Roger as well. So it's not exactly that. You know, there's a gap between free to plays, because a lot of people, what I see the issue too is a lot of re-rollers. How they re-roll to get these units. Obviously, yeah, I mean, if you want to play, if you get something new, I'm not gonna call you out and be like, oh, come on, you're using this character when he just released. Like, you're gonna want to play with your shiny new toy. You're not gonna just keep on playing with the same two characters that you're gonna be playing. That's what I do as well. I always switch out what I main for seasons, so it's not exactly like the same thing. Just like last season, I mained Time Skip Usopp and G5, and then this season I'm doing Marco and Kinemon. But yeah, I don't really blame the people that use Roger, just because you know he's a new unit. You're gonna be wanting to use him, but when this guy, 2 green units, this is a very very big issue that I see, and I know a lot of people are gonna agree with me. Literally, two green units destroyed the red meta. If your reds don't even matter anymore. Like you still see CP0s. Looking at the team, you know you got your CP0 still, but it's astonishing just to see how literally 2 colors, and it's from the type disadvantage, quote unquote, type basically being non-existent, because people are gonna be using these characters, these greens that just came out. But I found that really like astonishing too. It's just how literally 2 units just broke the meta. But that's kind of just like the overview of what I see in League. I've been having fairly tame matches for the most part, so it's not exactly like I'm facing maxed out Roger 24/7. But I know shout out to Hyo. I'm gonna be using some of his clips. I asked before, obviously, so I got the okay from him. But shout out to Hyo. He was telling me on Chef's Discord that he, like last season, last season he was like top 10, I believe. He was trying to rank up, and he would not. Once Roger came out, he would just get one tapped by Rogers. And if you know Hyo, like, he's not the average player. We meme him a lot because we call him a sweat and all that stuff. So it's not we kind of just play. We just kind of play with him and just kind of meme him about that. But if you have people like him, he has like 140 something party power usually, or uses his fat tanky defenders. He's just getting one tapped, and I found that insane. Just, you know, how the hell are you gonna die to a green unit when you're using your really overpowered teams with all these like good party power? So party power doesn't even matter anymore. Neither does just type advantage. It's non-existent. It's a big issue. Sorry, I had to pay attention real quick. But it's astonishing just to see that. And in his Roger video, I'll be sure to link that one as well if I remember. There was this little damage thing that he had. I'll probably put the clip here too.
Bullshit right here. So we're gonna see this up close and personal. Nice low, not even fully charged. 109k. This man did 109k on a Big Mom. Granted, it was with Team Boost, but Jesus Christ.
But Roger hit for 100k. Like, when you're hitting for 100k, that's how you know there's a big issue. Because that's like, what, like 50 lives off one character? So that's just insane. Like, he has stupid damage. And I think it was on a type disadvantage character. And then there's, speaking about Roger again, there was this other clip that he showed us on Discord. It's a little something. I'll leave it here too as well. But it's Roger's just a big issue just because he's breaking the game. Being a green and actually being able to kill all these reds instantly is just, it's really terrible. I'm using like these, granted I'm not using the best reds, but I'm still using reds. Like there shouldn't be an issue that I can't you know, beat these greens. If I have type advantage, it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of just like the Blackbeard stuff when they had the nerf Blackbeard thing going on. It's basically the same thing, just like 20 times worse in my opinion. I prefer fighting Blackbeards at this point. It's just it's it's not even a contest who's better. It's terrible. No, but that was a nice kill. I'm not gonna lie. Or was he gonna lose this match? But it's just that issue with, you know, nullifying type disadvantage. And I'm using this team for the most part. Like I said, I'm maining this team for this season. So I'm not exactly gonna be, you know, not doing anything good. Like this team is actually really good. But if you take a look at my team, I have pretty much to the point that I have sweaty party power. It's always like really high for reds. It's like 140 something most of the time. Like right here, I have 143.4. Granted, my Kinemon is 80. So he's not exactly like the highest level, but I'm still getting one tapped by a lot of Rogers. And I'm using a lot of defense on the medals. I'm using like 14, 18, 18, and then I'm also using 14 and then a little bit of attack. He shouldn't be one-tapping me with that defense. Even though I'm 80, it should be like almost a one-tap. It shouldn't be a one-tap, but it doesn't even matter anymore. And looking at Marco, I have like cap speed and all that stuff. He doesn't have that much defense to begin with, so it's not exactly like the tankiest unit, but he is maxed out. So I really shouldn't be getting one shot by a green unit when you have type of disadvantage in this game. That's the really big issue that I see with it, and it's terrible. Just whenever you get one tapped, and it's not a good feeling. I'll tell you that right now. And also a really big thing that I've been seeing a lot too is that people think that League is Brawl 8. I know we kind of mean that too in that in Discord as well, where it was like, oh, these people are just playing Brawl 8 at this point because they're killing everybody. And it's true. That's the sad part. I can see Rogers, like, say we're in Arlong. In the middle, the two doors are closed. He's killing like 3 people that are trying to get him. Instead of capping the flag, like somebody smart, instead of that, he just stands there and waits for more people to come in just to get more kills. Which at this point, I mean, the getting kills was a big issue even before, which I still have to this day. You know, people don't cap, even though like I meme a lot that the runners always get the first flag. I don't know if you've ever seen like those little memes that I put in the video, and it still happens to this day. Like that Kobe video that I dropped like a couple of days ago. I forgot who did it, but one runner did that. Actually, I think it was 2. So that's still a little bit of an issue, but I mean, I'd rather prefer the runner getting the first flag than just no one capping to begin with. It's not exactly a good feeling. And then just Roger being able to hard counter, like talking more about Roger, obviously. But Roger being able to counter like top tier units is just, it's not okay when it comes to that, because I mean, like Big Mom is a really good example, because I mean she was like what, top 1 runner in the game, and now she gets basically booty slapped by fucking Roger, and it's not even a fucking contest. Oh, shout out to this Ivankov actually. Shout outs to you. But yeah, it's just when you have these top tier units that are, I mean, they're still pretty good to this day, but you're getting one tapped by one unit. And you were one of the best units in the meta. Like, I find that crazy. Going back to when I was talking about Hyo, he mains like blue defenders. So he has like Magellan as a spirit animal and stuff like that. So he's not exactly new to this game. He knows what he's doing. But his mags is basically useless. I remember he was screen sharing something on Discord. I didn't get to see it because I wasn't on at the time, but he got one-tapped by Rogers every single time, and it wasn't even funny. Like, as much as we like to meme Hyo for what it is, but it was terrible just to hear that, and it's just the big issue, just how he's so rampant in league, and it's not like the Blackbeard situation, how it was just like, you know, not a lot of people didn't have not Roger, Shanks and Blackbeard in the beginning, to my knowledge. It was just towards kind of like the end, you know, when Bandai kept on bringing back their banners, step ups, and all that stuff, and people would summon on the bait banners. That's when a lot of people started to get them. So it wasn't that they couldn't, you know, get the unit. It was just people have Roger. Everybody has Roger at this point. If you're gonna be summoning, it's either you re-roll an account to get the new unit, the new shiny toy, like I was talking about, or you don't play with them at all. Which I don't know, I found really stupid. But I mean, once again, talking about like the PvP systems, like right here, you're looking at this team. We got somebody running OG Perona. Shout outs to you as well. But yeah, just looking at the team, look, you have the number one guy, 7K score, Mags and Roger. So you have your poison / venom points from Mags, and then you have your 50,000 kills from Roger. So you have that. So that's pretty fucking toxic. You have this guy Snake Man. He's, once again, I'm really not trying to call these people out if you're watching the video, which I doubt. But yeah, like, looking at this, you got 80 Odin. Even though Odin, he's not exactly an issue. It's more Roger. Just because Odin just feels like a really, really good bounty fest instead of like an EX. But then right here, like, you got your Big Mom, Blackbeard, the usual shtick going on there. And then you have people that are actually trying to have fun at this point. Using, you know, Ivankov and Law. Granted, Law is still kind of meta, but not too much anymore. Because I don't really see him anymore, and I don't use him, frankly. But then, like, on my team, you have, you know, your Loffies, the two Loffies. You have the Big Mom right here, and then you have this guy running OG Perona at 98, and then, you know, your Fat NL. So just looking at the gaps between teams, it's not even fair, especially on top ranks. Like I was talking about top ranks, it's just Roger Odin, maxed out, boost 2. It was just like how Drip said, if you're not using them, you're gonna lose. It's plain and simple. That's the really big issue that happens to me. It's just, for me, I haven't really been affected by it. I'm kind of sounding like a broken record at this point, but it hasn't really affected me to the point that I'm getting like really pissed off. It happens sometimes. Like, I have my rage moments. That's why I don't do live commentary, only like in live streams, stuff like that, just because I'd be cussing so much. And that's not even an issue. I really don't care. It's just, it's not a good feeling, especially when we start losing like 50 times. But it was astonishing. Just 2 green units destroying red meta. Like, red Sabo isn't really usable anymore to my knowledge. Big Mom isn't usable anymore. CP0 is not usable. Well, this is, of course, what I'm talking about. Just like pure Roger Odin's on the other team, obviously. It's not going to be like every single time. But then you have your, let's see, Erouge is also not usable. I've heard he's pretty bad now. But talking, oh, my bad, I jumped off accident. Talking about that, another really big issue. I'm really trying to wrap up this video because I don't want it to be too long. Talking about this issue, the main thing that I also have that actually really does piss me off to the point that I actually like start getting really fucking mad, is people like there's the people that do something about the issue, and then there's people that just like jump on the bandwagon. I don't want to call anybody out. I know a couple of people, a couple of YouTubers, like, well, obviously I don't know them in real life, but I know a lot of people to the top of my head that do that type of stuff. Like, if you look at people's tags whenever they put, like, their video. I'm sorry, I was cooking something right now, so might be hearing that. But if you look at their tags, like, they'll make, like, a video talking about, you know, Roger's not that overpowered. I really don't want to get into too much detail because I think you're going to know who I'm talking about. But they'll be defending Roger for one video, for example. Or, you know, he's not that overpowered. Like, you can kill him. This character can one-shot him. This character can one-shot him. Which is fine. I mean, you can express your own opinions. I really don't give a fuck about your opinions when it comes to that. And I'm really not trying to sound like a dick when I say that. Like, it's your opinion at the end of the day. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. But when you tag your video that the video after, when you get so much I guess quote unquote hate on the video defending Roger. The next video you have, I don't know, we'll just say you're doing like a Marco gameplay. You have boycott Annie or all this stuff that you originally were defending in the first place. Like, that really pisses me off, because there are people that are genuinely trying to do something about it, and a lot of people that talk about these issues that actually want to do something about it and that have done stuff. There's a couple of people to the top of my head, like Kurokuma. It's my boy Kurokuma. He talked about this Roger issue a lot, and he was talking really, really good about that issue. But then and also there's also, excuse me, I'll put both of their channels in the description, or the videos talking about it too. But both of them, they had really good like points. And then the people that do these type of videos, they get unnecessary hate for telling people, you should do this. Like, there's been like that movement, like with the boycott the Annie, or I forget what it is. I think that's what it is. But a lot of people, like, they're clowning on them just because you don't like you don't like the game because of this and that, or just get good or something like that. Which I mean, I that literally pisses me off when people say that. It's I once again, I'm really not trying to sound like a dick. I'm really not. It's just that people, when they talk about the issue, like, they can talk about it, that's fine, but they'll be like, oh, you can do this and that, and they tell their viewers to do it, but they're not doing it themselves. It's very, very hypocritical, and it's a big issue. But you know what, before I even finish that point, oh my god, like, you have these shitty Roger players, of course, like, looking at this, 2 kills, no caps, I did better than them. I'm not even using top meta characters, and oh my god, that's terrible. But back to that, like, they don't do anything about it, which is that's my biggest like issue with it. It's not that they're giving out the information, but they're not doing anything with it themselves. It's just like, oh, you should do it because I'm telling you to do, type of thing. That's how I see it. And I know I'm probably gonna get hate for that. I already know. But that's just my little point on it. It's just Roger's basically breaking the game. His chart skill is way too fucking overpowered.
Oh, I lied, bitch. Oh my, you see how long I charged that shit, bro? For those wondering, the more you hit Roger while he's holding that shit, the more damage he deals. So I advise you just to run away. But like, you can't really run away because
if Bandit were to even nerf him, it'll probably be that skill defending. But granted, looking back at what they did with the Blackbeard stuff, it's not looking too good, to be completely honest. Just because Blackbeard was so rampant and people were, the nerf Blackbeard situation. There was I think it was Swarly. He did it was back in the day. There was like this little quote unquote movement that was don't use Shanks or Blackbeard in PvP, which I don't know how it went. That was a couple of months ago, probably like 2 years actually. No, not even 2 years, because it's the second anniversary. What the hell am I talking about? Probably like a year ago. But yeah, there's that as well. So people actually like do stuff, and like, he's a really good point that he's actually somebody that takes action. Rather than that person I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say who. You probably know who I'm talking about. Doesn't really do anything about it. They kind of just like shrug it off to the side. But that's just honestly my perspective on this type of stuff. Is just Roger is too goddamn broken. And it gets to the point that Bandai's probably not gonna nerf him, just because I see a lot of people also talking about, he's a pirate king, he should be really overpowered like this and that, and people are like, oh, in the anime he did this and that, which doesn't really make sense in this game. Because talking about Kurokuma, he showed me this there's a guy that actually said that on a video, I forget what, but Kuro, he basically said that doesn't really make sense in the continuity of this game, just because you have characters like I don't know, Luffy, Dressrosa Luffy, one-tapping Kaido. Like, if you're gonna be going off the show, you can't really put that in perspective. Basically any gacha game that has to do with anime, to my knowledge, because like even in Dokkan, you got your you're facing like Master Ultra Instinct Goku, and you're facing against like, or and then you're using Namek Super Saiyan Goku, that Spirit Bomb one, for example, the strength one. And you're actually, you're doing damage. It doesn't make sense. If you're gonna put in the continuity of the show, obviously, the Super Saiyan Goku shouldn't be doing enough. But that's like a little comparison. It doesn't really make sense if people say that. And just the biggest issues with Roger is that he's really overpowered. He basically type advantage / disadvantage doesn't even matter anymore. And a lot of people just have him. That's my biggest thing. It's just since I did do a full rotation on a Rogers banner, but the only reason I did it was for I don't know if you know me. I'm a big Eustace kid simp, and I saw he was actually on the banner, so I was like, you know what? Even though this is basically like a bounty fest, once again talking about bounty fest, there's like that 700 gem shaft that I had for Lofty. I was like, you know what? This is my chance to get him, and I kind of wanted to start maining greens even before Roger and Odin came out, so I can use like Gear 4 and Kid. But yeah, that's honestly about it. It's just that Rogers is too overpowered. And actually, you know what? One quick little thing too that I know a lot of people have also been talking about, how the banner is actually super dog shit. Like, it's cool that it's a step up and you do get tickets off it, like the Shanks banner. Let me see, where's the step up? Right here. It's like those Shanks and Blackbeard banners when you get like those bronze tickets, but it takes like a full rotation to get one free 4-star. And when I did a full rotation, like I said, and I got Blue Ace, which I was a little bit upset about, but at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? More blue support. It's not exactly a loss for me, but I know a lot of people be super fucking pissed off to the point that they probably like delete the game if they were to get Blue Ace. But just that's honestly about it. The banner was super shit. It was like 1,750, I think, to get one guaranteed Roger. So that's actually like terrible. And just Bandai, they fucked up on their banner. They fucked up on the character, and it was just terrible. Like, and then the worst part too was these pretty high banners with hype banners with like the Odin and all these Wano characters. A lot of people did summon on these just because you have your chance to get these characters. You have Kawa, and then you have Yorokiku, and also Kinemon. So obviously the Odin banner is 20 times better, just because you can get them. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're gonna be using these units, Okiku is basically useless now because Roger. Kawamatsu's also useless because Roger. And Odin, yeah, he's still pretty good, but Roger. It gets to the point that I find it pretty funny how the people are trying to find counters for Roger, and they're like, oh yeah, there's Green Kata and Green Mihawk, like I said before. But at the end of the day, it's funny to me because the only counter to Roger is Roger. Like, he counters himself. Talking about Drip too, because he was like literally telling me you can tank at boost 2, 6-star, not 6-star, 6-star boost 2. Roger can tank a skill not charged all the way by another Roger, since you're gonna try to hit it as fast as you can, to do the most damage. And then once you take it, you take that damage and give it back to them, and then you'll kill him. So I don't know. I find that pretty funny. And like I said before with Odin doesn't even feel like an EX character. He feels more like a good bounty fest. He's not anything to like shrug about. Like, he's a very, very good unit. I'm not gonna talk shit about him. Go to character, pretty. I mean, overall, Odin's a cool dude. Same with Roger, but it's just Roger just broke the meta because you had your capping speed with Odin, which I actually thought that capping meta was gonna be a thing, and I really wish it did. Just people capping left and right, so you can bring like Kaku now and Marco, speaking about him, Green Croc, all these like flying units, Wedding Sanji and Odin. But nope, it's Brawl 8 and League, and it's not a good. The game is not at a good state. I think at this point it'll probably die, to be completely honest. I'm really not trying to sound bad, and I mean, for me personally, I'm not gonna be quitting the game anytime soon. Obviously, I enjoy the game. It's just those little things kind of irritate me, but I just take a break. I have shit to do in real life. People know me in real life that watch these videos, so they know I actually do shit too. I have like a lot of shit. I have stuff to do. I don't have to play this game 24/7. I'm not playing this like if this was like a job or anything. But you know, it's not gonna be like I'm gonna be quitting the game just because you know it's toxic. Like it is what it is. I was in the days of the Vegito Blue for Legends, and this is basically the same thing, but just like 20 times worse because Fusion Warriors was already meta at that time. But you know, with that being said, I think that's honestly about it. It just Roger's too overpowered. I have these clips to basically tell you otherwise. There's so much quote unquote evidence to support that Roger's just too goddamn broken. So basically anybody who tries to defend him, I find their argument null and void. And once again, I'm really not trying to sound like a dickhead. I'm really not. But at the end of the day, you can't defend this dude. Like he's an EX obviously, so he's gonna be top tier. But there's just no reason for him to be this fucking good. The nullification of type is also a really big issue. A little bit of the gap between free-to-plays and pay-to-plays. It's not too much anymore because there's all these re-rollers like I talked about. But that's just kind of like me wrapping up stuff. But yeah, this was a different type of video. I just kind of wanted to like unload what I thought about Roger and just talk about him as a unit. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys disliked this video, go ahead. It's like I said, it's your opinion. This is just me kind of talking. I'm not exactly memeing or you know doing what I want. This is just kind of like informative, I guess. But with that being said, I'm gonna be signing out. I will have 2-star VV gameplay. It should be out either this week or next week. So look forward to that. I also have to record Sogeking, which is gonna be a pain in the ass, just because all these reds and greens. Because you know I can't nullify type disadvantage like Roger. And then I also have the Kinemon stuff that I have going on too. I have a couple of matches already recorded, but with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, like I said. And this is Team 3-star, and I will be signing out. See you guys on the next one. Peace.